Hello and welcome back to the SimTech podcast, the show where we dive into the world of clinical simulation, talk tech, share stories, and explore the innovations shaping the way we train healthcare professionals. I'm your host Craig, and in today's episode, I'm really excited to be joined by Paul from RIVR. That's reality in virtual reality. If you've ever wondered how VR is transforming simulation-based education and what it takes to build immersive, scenario-driven training experiences, then this one's for you. Hello and welcome to another episode at the SimTech podcast. Today we're jumping into another supplier showcase, and today we'll be talking all about RIVR. And that is not river as in a flowing river, that is in RIVR. And to help me do that, I've brought along Paul to help me talk all about it. Paul, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you, Craig. Yes.
Yeah.
Although it's absolutely chucking it down with rain outside.
I was going to say it looks very sunny where you are anyway. But you know, where you from?
I'm from. Well, I live in Bromsgrove in Worcestershire, so from the West Midlands.
Mm-hmm. And we were just speaking about a certain accent that you might be having today.
Yes. Unfortunately, everybody's going to have to put up with my very harsh Birmingham accent. Yes.
It's one thing that will always live with you. It doesn't matter where you are. You know, if you Brummie, you're Brummie through and through.
Well, it's when I'm traveling the country conducting demonstrations and everything, everybody knows which part of the country I'm from. So it helps with that. I don't have to go into a full explanation too many times. But there you go.
All right, Paul, would you like to give yourself a little bit of a corporate introduction?
Yes. So my name is Paul Mallinson. I am the Business Development Manager for RIVR, which actually stands for Reality in Virtual Reality. And I am probably, I would think I'm 95% of all of the clients that we work with, I'm their first point of contact. So at some point if you decide to do some work with RIVR, I will probably be your, at some point, I will be in that journey for
I see.
you.
What's a normal day look for you then? What do you do?
A normal day for me will be contacting clients, emails, Teams meetings. I've got a Teams meeting this afternoon actually with Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
We're looking to do some work with the Saudi Public Security Organisation, but that varies. I've been on calls at midnight with Australia, as well as on the far coast, east coast of America as well. So it's contacting clients all over, arranging demonstrations and presentations, providing quotations for clients. So it's
managing
all the sales infrastructure is probably my key role within RIVR.
It sounds like you get involved with a little bit of everything, really.
I do, yes. So a lot of that time is spent through talking through what ideas clients have got or what they're actually trying to achieve when they're looking at virtual reality. Sometimes that's managing people's expectations. Other times it's getting them to look at other solutions that we think as an organisation would better fit their requirements, either by reducing their costs down. And sometimes it's most people's experience of virtual reality or any sort of extended reality is usually in the gaming. So they'll have tried some sort of game, usually in virtual reality, and that can give people a misconception of what may be the best source for them for the projects that they're looking at.
How did you find yourself into this role then, Paul? What's number 4?
Oh dear. A strange journey. I spent 34 years of my life as a financial advisor.
Well, that's quite a jump.
Yes. And due to circumstances that I won't go into any detail, I decided that I'd done that for long enough in my life. And I had a mini career break. And then the managing director, who I've known for a long, long time at RIVR, came to me and said, "Look, I really need somebody. The business is expanding and taking off. I need somebody that I know c- can look after the sales side and managing all the client introductions, leads, and everything else." So I did it. I said, "We'll do it on a consultancy basis," because I didn't know anything about virtual reality at that time. Um, so I said, "Look, let's do 3 months. I'll get stuck into it. You can have a look, and we'll see whether it's a fit." That was 5.5 years ago. So, and I absolutely love it. There is so much that's happening within the landscape, and it's changing. I would, I would never have seen myself in this world at all. But I look at what we do now and think, if I'd have had this 25, 30 years ago in the training environments and development environments in which I worked, even in financial services, it would just been a game changer.
Yeah, I
Um,
also have that feeling, Paul, because I come from my background was military, and I would love to know what I know now 20 years ago. It's one regret that I've always had is not knowing enough about virtual reality, because the military would benefit massively from it, but then
we
there's
do
just
work.
no
We do
there's no
work
one to
with them.
show them. Yeah.
We do work with the military, different departments, but a lot of which we're not allowed to discuss or show for obvious
Hmm.
reasons. But we do work, especially with the Department of Science and Technology
Yeah.
labs for the Ministry of Defence. We do
Yeah, I mean,
quite a bit of
I
work.
could imagine like just watching from like a drone's point of view, and in 360 just flying over like a battlefield, that kind of situation. Is that what we're talking about?
So that sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that
Yeah,
does sound pretty cool.
yeah.
You mentioned you joined River. I mean, is it a big team at River?
There's 18 of us in total. That's a
Mm.
mixture of, so unfortunately on the sales side, it's just me and the managing director that do that. So it's fitting everything around that. But we've got a team of 5 developers. We've got some 3D artists that specialize in certain aspects of the work. We've got our own in-house video production team, because we do a lot of work on bespoke content for law enforcement, different aspects of law enforcement, mainly around community outreach. We've just completed a project as well for NHS that they were involved in. We've then got our Riverlink team, which is the classroom in a box. So the guys that do all the work around the software updates, getting all the kits ready together to send them all out. So it's a wide and varied team, only small, and become a global brand. Our products are used all over the world, and that happened in such a short space of time. More through probably being in the right place at the right time with a lot of things. It was never a design that River was going to become a global brand. That's happened. We're good at what we do. I think
Yeah.
is that's it in a nutshell. We are very good. The team are very good at what we do. So
All right then, Paul. If how would you explain what River is then to someone who may not know what it is?
I get asked this quite a lot, to be fair, Craig. And my easiest, the way I usually explain it, we are a training and development company that uses immersive technology to help people get the results that they want.
Yeah, because
So
I thought you were just Riverlink, but it's just speaking to you now. It sounds like you're a whole lot more than just Riverlink.
yeah, bespoke. We have we do interactive virtual reality. We do augmented reality projects that we've done with Warwick Castle and things of that nature. Birmingham Royal Ballet, we've just done. We did a big project for them last year where you can pick up items from the Nutcracker suite and things like that, and walk around the stage and uh, all different things of that nature. I think the thing for us is that we're not industry specific. We've got clients such as DP World, Warburtons, as well as lots of police forces, fire and rescue, ambulance service, some NHS. We're doing lots of work with universities and colleges now as well. We've just done a big project for Eon or Empower. So it's such wide and varied, I think, which keeps the excitement and the interest going as well. We're not just stuck in one place. I've just had a phone call yesterday with regards to a Lincolnshire resilience organisation, and that's all around the triella. So that's police, ambulance, fire and rescue when they're organising and preparing for major events. So they're just coming on board as a client now as well. So yeah, I lost my train of thought there. What you
Well,
were
it
asking
it
me?
just sounds like you've got your fingers in a lot of pies.
Oh, absolutely,
So
yes.
it sounds like a bit of a problem solving. Because if someone wants to work with VR and they're not really sure, they generally have an idea of what they want to do they come to you and go, "Look, Paul, this is the idea. Can you guys make this work, or do you have any ideas around this that can support us?"
Yeah, no, well, we'll actually tell the client if we don't think it's fit for purpose as well.
Mm,
And I think somebody needs to have the idea of what they're looking to try and do. I was at a presentation 2 weeks ago for Network Rail Wales region, and they had 25 people in the room. And it's by the time I'd finished the presentation and the session and letting everybody have a go, changed their perspective. And I think the thing is with virtual reality, you can get a lot of naysayers that think, oh yeah, you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't, that you can be very negative about it if you want to. But the positives, I can remember experiences from 4 or 5 years ago when I first joined the company, that as soon as somebody mentions it, that images are being created in my head because I
yeah,
remember them. And that's how virtual reality works. It places you in an experience that tricks your brain into creating a layer of memory, whether
yeah,
that be video or interactive.
yeah. I like the word. I think people use is sticky, and you show somebody and that information, it sticks, doesn't it? But again, that can be double edged, can't it? And if people have bad experiences, that will also stay with them.
Yes.
So you've got to be super cautious with getting it right on the first impressions are quite strong with virtual reality, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah, people, you can suffer with nausea, but again, conversations we have with clients, oh, it makes me feel sick. But to be fair, a lot of the time, Craig, that is around the way the content's been created.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you don't create the content correctly, because of our unique offering to clients, is that we basically want them to become their own VR company with
Mm,
backup and support from us. So once we've supplied you with the hardware and the training knowledge, we encourage a lot of our clients to create their own content, certainly around the 360 video, which is classroom in a box scenario. We want them to create their own content, because if you employ us to do it, it's expensive. To get a professional videography company in to create immersive content is not cheap.
no.
So for basic internal training and development, we can convince and show our clients how quick and how easy they can create their own content. So, as we mentioned, the military, for argument's sake, they create all their own content for obvious reasons. Sometimes it's too sensitive for us to be able to go and create that. But we've got NHS trusts that are creating guided tours of a hospital, breaking bad news procedure. I was on that a couple of months ago with Birmingham University, the right next to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham, and they were using it. We showed them how easy it was to create content, and it was around breaking bad news, because you can pause the video and say, so how does that make you feel?
Mm,
What were you thinking? What was your thought process going through? And the whole idea of that is just trying to better prepare people.
yeah,
Rather than have role playing, because you usually get the same volunteers all the time. So like me, I'd have gone, yeah, I'd rather make a mistake in role play. Not everybody's that comfortable, but put them in a headset in the experience and they'll want to speak about how it made them feel,
Yeah.
and those sort of
Yeah, we're finding
outcomes.
exactly the same here, Paul, is that it evaluates really well with our nurses and midwives and not so much with our doctors. And that's backwards to me because I'm going to stereotype a little bit. You'd think actually the VR maybe is better suited for a younger generation coming through where they're more susceptible to understanding technology. We're actually finding it's the other way around. Nurses and midwives like VR because they don't like going into simulation as much because they feel it's quite nerve wracking to go into like perform and being watched by other people. Where actually, if they're watching it on a headset, they feel actually they can critique this actor because it's not their friend. They're relaxed because they're not having to go in because they know all they've got to do is the best part, and that's watch.
Yeah.
And but actually, we're finding actually the younger generation they're becoming more used to simulation, and they don't mind going in and getting their hands dirty. And so they would prefer, the hands-on experience. Where actually the older demographic are preferring VR, which is bonkers to me because if you were going to put a bet, you'd think the younger ones would prefer VR, and the older ones would prefer not to go through the VR experience.
Yeah, you can get that different. But I think a lot is depends of what somebody's experience has been previously. If they've tried virtual reality, I certainly always get a much better response for people who haven't tried it at all. They go, "Oh my god, that was amazing!" And
That's my favourite thing of the day is you showing it for the first time to people, and
yeah,
and
yeah,
you can watch that you're watching their body language and how they're almost gripping onto the seat because they're completely immersed. It's
yeah,
brilliant. I love it so much.
yeah.
Um, are you a person that counts VR 360 as virtual reality?
Yes,
Yeah. Well, that was a quick answer. No thoughts.
absolutely. If you're asking me, I think it's because of the cost of creating virtual reality, certainly in the interactive world, it's so much more cost effective for our clients, and the experiences done right are just mind blowing. And I get that reaction every time I do a presentation or a demonstration to somebody. Once you've shown them something that's been created good or well, um, it, to me, I think it's the VR. I think
Yeah.
above anything else, it's entry level. I see interactive virtual reality, and it's the way we position it with our clients as a competency assessment. So we've got a platform that we use for our interactive VR. So fire investigation, crime scene investigation, the lab technicians that we've just created for the NHS, but that's all around genome extraction. Apparently, the UK is the world leading technology or experiencing on genome extraction, and we've created a video training package for them in 360, and we've created an interactive lab where they can competency assess. So we're going to show you what you need to do. And if you need to competency assess somebody, then you put them into an interactive session that will give you feedback and all the tools that you need to be able to perform that action and test the competency.
Yeah.
VR has its limitations. Absolutely, it does. Um, but for dangerous or expensive, repeatable training, there's nothing else that will come out close to it.
Yeah.
But limitations around weight and haptic feedback and that, because once you start getting into that,
Mm.
it becomes very expensive and difficult to manage and organise as well. Whereas 360 video playback, I can turn up to anywhere as long as I've got a plug socket and I can deliver you a training session in VR.
Yeah. I'm a massive fan. I love VR 360. A couple of years ago the it was HE at the time wanted some immersive text to come on board with the XR hub, and obviously River was part of that. And that's how I first discovered River's, classroom in the box modality. Um, And I think it was love in first sight. I found a space for this straight away after using, various virtual reality apps and platforms, going on to, the HoloLens and the Vive Focus 3 at the time. And I found everything else a little bit clunky. It had so many barriers like internet connections and user errors, and I could never envision a place where I could stand up in front of a class of 15 people and get a session off the ground without having 100 different errors and problems and disconnects. And that's why VR 360, it just seemed to be so easy to use. It could be used in so many different situations. And that's kind of what we'd lead on to the next part is having this classroom in the box solution, Paul, where it can be led with just one instructor who kind of has complete control over all these headsets without having to run around and, oh, just take it off a second, let me look at what you're looking at, pressing it and messing around. Um, can you explain to people what this classroom in the box idea is?
Yeah, so it was born out of a some work we did. Oh God, 6.5, 7 years ago now with Thomson Tui, the airline holiday company as they were at the time. Um, they wanted to provide an experience to people. They used to have 4 big superstores in the UK, and they wanted to be able to provide an experience to clients coming into their stores of cruise holidays, to try and basically to upsell cabins, and get people to have a look at the better facilities on the ships. So the production team had the onerous task of flying around of going over to the Caribbean and around the Med on the cruise ship, creating some content. But then what they wanted to do was synchronize 4 headsets together so the whole family in a headset was having exactly the same experience. So the wife could say, "Oh, look, Bob, look out of the window," and he would turn his head and he'd be having exactly the same view that she was having in a headset. That's where Riverlink actually started the software. So that the first task was to synchronize the headsets together. And it has come a long, long way since then. So that's what we did. It was very clunky at the time. There was no boxes, no routers, no charging. It was all just getting those 4 headsets to synchronize together. And since then, it has now become the product it is today. Yes, there are, and it's a full synchronized VR solution with a content library where you can manage it on the laptop. We call it VR Chalk, but because the touchscreen laptop is included within the kit, I could pause a video as a facilitator or an instructor, pause the video, annotate on the screen. That will appear in everybody's headsets. So when you're trying to highlight procedures or protocol or just ask questions, there's lots of little tools within there designed to make that as easy as possible for the facilitator and give everybody the same experience at the same time. Um,
And
and
that's the
it's
key word,
morphed
isn't it?
into
It's that synchronized is the key word there, is that everything happens at once at the same time, and everyone shares the same experience.
Yeah, the use cases that we have, I would think some of the biggest. So we only tend to get involved now in content creation for community outreach projects. So we've just completed a big project for Bedfordshire Police around county lines. The video production itself is called Lost Boys. But that's going to be shown. So their plan is to launch it in September, is to go out into the schools and into the community. And they've got a 30 headset kit. So they'll be able to put a complete class of children through that experience all together at the same time and then get their feedback and everything else. And we've done numerous projects like that. We've done knife crime video, we've done the dangers of underage drinking, which involved paramedics being involved in that as well in the hospital. We've done misogyny content with Warwickshire Police that actually won an award for the best use of technology at the violence against women and girls. And I even have some organisations now asking for that content so that they can try and develop internal staff as well as an internal training program to put them through those experiences. And it's very simple. It's that is just to present a camera, but the power of that video in the conversation is something to watch.
Yeah, it's really powerful. You mentioned that you had 30 people in one headset. What's the maximum? How many people can you have in one
So we
headset?
can put. So the military have got a couple of 40 headset content kits that they use when they're putting large numbers or two squads in together. But we can synchronise quite effectively 40, 45 headsets together at one time.
And that's just run off of one laptop.
That's just run off one laptop. So yes, with the kits, we can do anything. We do a 2 headset kit for sales teams. So that is used by Tesla in the US. They use it for going around trade shows and exhibitions in America rather than carting all of their large gear around. They now have created all the content and they use a 2 headset kit, and it's used by their sales teams as well. So rather than having a manual or a book to flick through, they go to the client, put that on, and I'll take you through the things that you're interested in and let you have a walk round and a view around it. But yes, so up to 40, 45 headsets. I would say our common kit size is about 20 headsets. So that comes in a couple of boxes. One laptop, it has a router, so no access required to any internal IT and Wi-Fi. We found that obviously initially that was a huge barrier for a lot of organisations that
Especially the
trying to
NHS, the internet, and
trying to get
especially
access,
wireless. Yeah.
trying to get access to anything. So we developed the system where it's a complete closed turnkey solution. It's got the number of headsets that you require. It's also a smart charging. So once you plug the headsets in, it will charge them for you as well. Has the touchscreen laptop and it's got an internal router. And all you need literally is a plug socket. So I can turn up anywhere. I have done a presentation almost in the middle of a field for the Heart of England Forestry Commission. That was it. They ran a 300-meter extension cable to a barn.
Wow.
And they were sat on bales of hay while I put them through a VR experience. That was an experience. But
Yeah,
yes,
that's
so literally it will work anywhere.
and you have headphones as well, don't you? They're kind of tucked
We
away
don't with
nice.
the new kits. So the new headset kits have got the Pico G3s in, and because of the way they've altered the microphones on those and the earpieces, we don't actually have the headphones on the new kit. So
I see.
the previous version did, but the new version doesn't require them. Although you can still put headphones into them. They do have a jack point to put headphones on if you want a complete noise cancellation. We don't actually include those in the new kits.
Oh, okay. Like I say, I love using the headphones with them because I find it, although it is synchronized, it can still feel a little bit echoey without headphones. You can hear in from multiple sources. It can be quite
Yes.
distracting. Okay. As I knew, Paul, our time would fly by today. What's your favourite project you've been working on or had worked on?
Oh God, there's so many weird and wonderful. I think the project that we worked on with DP World. For people that don't know DP World, they manage container shipping ports and terminals around the globe. But obviously, it was here in the UK. It was London Gateway. We went to, and the feedback that we had from them on it's just been a game changer for them, and I think that's why, they filmed all the different job roles that take place at one of these ports, and I've had to been to London Gateway. It's mind blowing when you see these huge container ships and what's going on at these ports. And they filmed all the job roles. They did a recruitment apprenticeship exhibition. They were showing everybody what the job roles were in a headset, and they had the biggest intake of apprenticeships that they've ever had. But the projects are huge. The one with Bedfordshire Police, I think, is going to have a huge impact that we've just done as well around county lines. Excuse me. The way we've created that content, the impact that it's going to have will hopefully change young people's lives and stop them
I
going
mean,
into.
that must be really rewarding to actually seeing this finished product and hearing about all the good work it's doing within the emergency services, working with the NHS and the police and the fire and all those people, and seeing actually how much effect it's having on people.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right, Paul. As I've said, almost out of time, but I'm going to leave with one of the hardest questions you're going to get today. How much does it cost?
Well, we try a basic one of our basic standard 12 headset kits is with a capture kit. So that's a full kit to be able to capture all of your own content. We would. I knew you. I should have prepared better for that. It'll be under £20,000 plus you got that on top of that. So I think, and that's with the first year software license as well. So the software license includes all the update support, all of that. We've got our support team are out on the road all the time, going around doing updates, checking on how you're doing. So it's 17,250 for the kit with the first year software license, and then the capture kit is about 2,850, I think, off the top of my head. So for £20, just under 20 or around £20,000, then plus the VAT, you could have your first classroom in a kit. But we build it bespoke for what clients require. Some people may only require 6 headsets because they're
Yeah.
working within a small team. I know we looked at a project with the play team before, where they're going into homes where there may be vulnerable children that require invasive treatment at home, and they've been using it to put them through into a video experience to calm them down while they may be changing a cannula or performing some sort of experience. So, yeah. Yeah,
And
cost wise, we work with our clients and we discuss with them what their needs and requirements are and then look at building it bespoke. But you could certainly start with your own classroom kit for around the £20,000 mark,
and
definitely.
for those people that might think it's quite expensive, do you get a lot of requests for like business cases, and how do people justify the prices? Because for us, we're now working out how much VR costs compared to like traditional simulation, and actually, it's very very economical when you look at having one instructor to 15 students without actually. There's a little bit of an investment. You've got to go to the hard work of capturing your content and getting all that done. But once you've got it, you've got that reusable resource that you can just do, over and over again and
Well,
keep it running.
one of the main reasons why we try to encourage our clients to be their own content creators as well is because when procedures or protocols change, which they tend to do quite frequently in public services, that all of a sudden this has got to be done this way and everything else, it's very quick and easy to go and recapture your own content, and then now that's what's going to be displayed on the kits. So for me, it's all around that, making it as easy as possible for you to create contextual, relevant content and build up your own internal library. We can put clients in touch with other NHS trusts or university hospitals that are using the equipment and are creating content. You tend to find that NHS trusts are quite happy to share content between each other as long as
Yeah.
you've got the relevant system.
Exactly. I
It's
mean,
not,
we've got 30 videos now that we're happy to share within all kinds of specialities. I
yeah.
think content creation sounds scarier than it actually is. When you're going to give someone a 360 camera, oh, you're going to need some microphones. It puts a lot of people off, doesn't it? But actually, it is super simple these days. You don't even have to
If,
stitch
if
or anything with the software.
if people can shoot a video on their phone, they can create 360 video.
Yeah, it is
And there's
simple.
just some tips and that we run through with our clients. The basic do's and don'ts. Don't run with a 360 camera, otherwise you will make people feel nauseous. But yeah, a lot of those things are just basics, and being aware that the camera is filming everything and not just what you've got in frame
Yeah, you
shot in
can't
a
hide behind the
2D.
camera with a big
No,
script
no,
card
no,
these
no.
days, can you?
But
No.
the way the technology now works for the stitching, it's the software that platform that we use, because we use the Insta360 range.
Yeah,
The
true.
Insta360 Studio is free to download, and it stitches the footage together quite quickly and easy. And if our clients run across any difficulties, they drop an email into our support line, and one of our production team will give them a call and say, what's your problem? What you're having
Yeah.
struggling with? And just give them some ideas.
I mean, the only part you really need to do is trim the ends off, don't you? Really, the start and the end, and then you're good to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you solve the audio issues? Do you give them microphones or anything to go
So
on what side?
the kit that I'm talking about has Bluetooth, a really
The
good
volume ones.
quality Bluetooth microphone setting. It also has a dedicated. It's only a basic Nokia smartphone, but it has that for the app for managing the phone remotely. We've done that because we were having issues with some of our clients that they wouldn't allow them to put applications on their own phones that were related to work. So we put the phone in with the kit now that has the app on it. So anybody who's got the kit doesn't need to put apps onto their own phones. So it's all contained within the box for the capture kit as well. But yeah, it's got a high quality Bluetooth microphone setting as well. Everything that you would need to capture your own quality content.
Yeah, brilliant. All right, Paul. Well, thank you for today. It's been great talking to you, and I'm a massive fan of RIVR. I always have been, and I'm hoping at some point we can maybe do some work together, because it sounds like you've got your fingers in all kinds of pies, and you're the man to
Yeah,
know.
I think that's one of the problems with Classroom in a Box. It's one of its biggest benefit, but it can be prohibitive sometimes. Is it does everything. So one of the benefit, it does everything. One of the constraints, it does everything. So whatever you think can be created can be done in 360 video and provide people with that experience. Um, yeah, I would just say to people, if you haven't tried it, then it costs nothing for us to contact us, for us to come along, provide you with a demonstration of it, and you make your own minds up from there as to whether there's any value or benefit in it then.
Yep, exactly. Or you can drop me an email as well, because I've used it and it's fantastic. All right, Paul. Well, thank you very much, and it's nice to have you.
You're welcome, Craig. Thank you very much indeed.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of the SimTech podcast. A huge thank you to Paul from RIVR for joining me today and sharing such inspiring look into how virtual reality is shaping the future of simulation training. If anything in today's chat sparked your interest or gave you ideas for your own sim centre, don't forget to check out RIVR and see what they're up to. Links will be in the episode description. And as always, if you're enjoying the podcast, please follow, rate and share it with your fellow SimTechs and educators. And if you've got a piece of kit or a platform that you want to share, then please, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay curious, stay innovative, and keep pushing the boundaries of simulation.